Today I will show Raft's full lifecycle computer vision product in Rains. It facilitates an end-to-end workflow for creating new visual object recognition models. The problem the system will tackle is the rapidly evolving battlefield, where new types of objects are being deployed every day. Currently, the turnaround time to develop a new visual object recognition model to identify these new threats takes weeks. We aim to take that down to days. We achieve that speed up through two primary mechanisms. First, our system includes tools for every stage of the vision model development, training and retraining. Any user can ingest their raw unlabeled images, work with an existing model to annotate that data, fine-tune that model, and finally deploy that model for inference on live data. The second mechanism that allows this speed up is a tight feedback loop for human-machine teaming. The operator can continuously provide updated labels to fill the gaps where the model is having trouble. And on the other end of that, after training, we have a custom Raft AI agent that is able to ingest information from the training run and provide suggestions to the operator on how they can improve their next run. And this allows non-ML engineers to produce truly great models using the system. So we'll jump in. Start in the model tuner page. We'll start a new project. You'll want to give it a meaningful description so that others are able to search and discover the useful model that you have developed here. Okay, now we'll select the base model that we want to start with. This will be the model that produces our auto annotations and the model that we then fine-tune our new set of labels on. You have a few options here. YOLO is the industry standard for object detection. Grounding Dino is a very interesting model that is a zero-shot object detection model. So most CV models are designed to identify a fixed set of objects. Grounding Dino identifies objects based on open-ended natural language descriptions. So this is very useful for identifying objects that you don't currently have a model trained to identify. We'll see that a little bit later on. Waldo is a variant of YOLO that is already trained on satellite overhead imagery to detect vehicles. Down here we have some custom Raft models that we have already trained. I'll start off with one of those. Pick the mode. This model supports just object detection with bounding boxes. Other models support oriented bounding boxes or video tracking. But just to start here, we can give it labels that will describe the objects that we're looking for. So I'm looking for fixed-wing manned aircraft. And now I need to map this to one of the classes that this model was trained on. So this model was trained on airplanes and boats. I will pick the closest one to the new class that I want to identify. And likewise, I will do the same thing with boat. And here you can also add a new type of class that does not exist in your set if you want. So I'll just add unmanned aircraft. Now you go down to connect to your storage where your images are located. This could be connected to any S3 compliant bucket, so AWS S3 or a local Minio instance or any kind of standard object storage that you have. So I'll pick my input source bucket, which contains my images, and then my target bucket, which will contain the labels that we produce during this project. This also allows you to import labels from an existing or past labeling effort.